fucking with me. Can you hear me spit now? Got better, you see. Indiana, I beat from the IND. For those who ain't know, Spring West, Indy. Torn like me if you think it might be. But how? I'm Carter's out 223. As long as these levels is rapping ain't free. Just tell me your numbers, I'm charging a fee. What you talking about, nigga?
Recorded live from the Engine Room in Broad Ripple, this is the Voices of Indy podcast hosted by Josh Gillespie. Voices of Indy is a show dedicated to giving you the opportunity to know the musical, visual, and theatrical arts of Indianapolis, Indiana. This week's guest, I'm very pleased to have him, is an up-and-coming hip-hop artist, Kris Edwards, a.k.a. K2daE. Kris, how are you doing?
I'm great. Feeling good today.
Awesome. Thank you for being on the show this week.
Yes, I appreciate you introducing me.
You're welcome. And it was a very short intro. There's not a lot of information about you. You are truly like an underground rapper right now. Tell me a little bit more about yourself. Who is K2daE?
Well, first, let's go ahead and get the spell right. You know, it's first letter big K, the number 2, then D-A-E, preferably the big E on the end. But I'm a local artist. I've been rapping for a minute. I've been doing my thing for a while. I've been on the road. I pay for my own shows. I do my own music. I've been underground for the longest and just waiting for my opportunity to come. Local artist from Indianapolis, born and raised. Been here my whole life, basically. Been through it all. All the steps that you become a rapper. I'm a songwriter. I can sing. I'm trying to do some R&B, but mainly just on the rap scene right now.
Well, the fun thing that I noticed, so we've been talking a little bit off air before we got everything started. You are a writer by nature.
Yes. I've learned to start from a notebook. The guy that I first started recording with when I was maybe about 18, 19, he put a notepad in front of my face and he said, "You need to learn how to write." So I took that on and just started opening the pads up. I got unlimited pads. I've been writing songs for years. But I'm just used to putting on a pad and just getting started.
Yeah. So, when you write, where are you coming from? What's your form of inspiration, and who have you looked to over the years as kind of your musical style of inspiration? Because I've listened to some of your stuff.
Yes.
And the one thing that really stuck out to me, and I even said this to you, it goes hard. It goes hard.
I appreciate that. You know what's crazy is, me being a lyrical person, more about my lyrics and my content. A lot of people would think, it'd be a down south, type of guy. They say I sound like Slim Thug or I have that type of voice. But my inspiration, my lyrics, mainly East Coast rappers.
Really?
I like a lot of those because they're lyrical. They're all about their words, the wordplay. But like I said, when you get down south, I choose down south beats, but I have a East Coast kind of flow. Not East Coast flow, but just the East Coast content where I'm feeling myself a little more with the words. So I'm inspired. I don't know. I grew up around the 2000s, the Dipset people. Basically almost just them. Like anybody that's East Coast, I'm kind of feeling them. I listen to them and that's just not just certain people, all of them, the whole side of the East. But I like some down south people. I remember Gucci Man, Jeezy. I've listened to a lot of them people growing up. 8-Ball MJG, 3-6 Mafia, Yo Gotti. I like all those guys. I like everybody, but just my inspiration, the East Coast flavor.
Interesting. Would you say that? I mean, growing up, for me, I know that there was a really big East Coast, West Coast thing. And obviously the South really started coming out of that in the late 90s, I would probably say, into the early 2000s.
Yeah, basically, around that time.
But is there still kind of like this East Coast, West Coast thing? I mean, and I'm not talking about rivalry anymore, because I feel like the rivalry is kind of...
Yeah, that's kind of died down.
That's kind of died down. But I mean, in terms of flow and style. And mind you, I'm coming at you from a place of ignorance here. So,
I mean, I think it's died down. It was heavy. It was heavy in the early mid '90s, early 2000s. That was a heavy thing going on. There was a lot of feud, but I think that was a lot of juxtaposition. People just coming out having who's the best rapper alive, basically. And there was a lot, that title got thrown around a lot. I mean, I even remember listening to Lil Wayne when growing up, and he had that title to my eyes. I can't speak for others, but for my eyes, he had that title for a while. I mean, of course, Jay-Z was out and all these other rappers were out, but there was like 3 main guys, Tupac, Biggie, Jay-Z, and Lil Wayne. After that, they was all coming out. They was all jockeying for position.
Yeah.
But I mean, and they was all talented to my eyes. But, that was, West Coast came in. Like I said, West Coast had some great talent. Awesome talent. I mean, there's a lot of good guys over there. I'm not taking nothing from them.
No. I didn't think you are.
But being from Indianapolis, it's hard getting some West Coast people over here. I mean, we don't get a lot of West Coast flavor. I love their flavor, but being from Indianapolis, we don't get a lot of West Coast play here.
We don't.
So I mean, we get a lot of down south play here. But but I love it. I mean, but that feud's probably died down. Basically, I feel like when Tupac kind of went away, honestly.
Mm-hmm. No, I'd agree. How have you seen those guys? Especially like how has the South beats influenced your music? I mean, if you have the East Coast flow, but the South beats, explain that. Go into that a little bit more, because I mean, I feel like especially now, beats are like that's the thing. People are looking specifically for beats.
Yes. I love. See, like I said, I grew up on 3 6 Mafia, and I love DJ Paul where he puts his mind to a beat, and I could tell it's his mind. And he has a different type of style and a sound that separates him from a lot of other producers that come out here. He's called himself the super producers. Him and Juicy J, they were super producers, and which they was, because they was able to make a beat from scratch and make a hit out of it. And they've won Oscars and awards from all that work. But one of my favorite, I hate to say, and I know people are probably like, who is he? But there's a guy that's named Southside. He's a music producer. He makes a lot of beats that I choose to rap over. He has the 808 Mafia sound. I'm not sure if anybody knows that, but 808 Mafia is a good sound that I love to choose from.
Yeah.
These beats are real catchy. So when I'm rapping and when I'm actually writing, I get in a zone where I hear his claps. And I like claps in my beats. So when I'm hearing like or that boom, 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 when I'm hearing that in between, I can hear myself rapping in between there. So if I feel like I can fit in that, then I'm going to choose that beat. But Southside producer, 808 Mafia, I appreciate you. I know you still out here doing your thing, but hey, your beats are genuine to me.
That's saying a lot. I mean, and people are looking for those genuine beats because, I mean, when I feel like, especially when it comes to hip hop, the soul is not just coming from the lyrics anymore.
Yeah. You're right. And you're right.
I mean,
I just think that now at this day, like I said, me being an older rapper, we wanted the lyrics first. And I understood, that you guys are want to understand your music because they want to understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
But as we grow on and the time moves on and it moves fast, it's the beat. And if you don't have a beat, you better have somebody featured on there. And that's how I look at it as. If you got somebody that's nice featured, and everybody blows up with Drake, it's on the feature, and I understand that process. But if you ain't got the beat together, more than likely a lot of ears close because they know that the lyrics are not as good as they used to be, and not dogging any rappers out here because there's some great ones out here.
No, there are. Yeah.
A lot of great ones out here. But everybody knows, if that beat ain't catchy when it first comes on, and if it don't get my attention, your lyrics better be there. And if you ain't got neither one of them, ears close very fast.
Yeah, no, I think that's pretty much safe to say for any kind of music that is, I will say, for people our age.
Right.
Not to get, too into how old that we are. I mean, say a bit of an older rapper, but I mean, I feel like a lot of us are probably, we are looking more to those lyrics.
Right.
And if you're not resonating with them, if you don't feel like they're representing
right.
where you're coming from.
Yeah, that's one thing I noticed when listening to music. You kind of knew when the music was genuine is when they gave you goosebumps. If you sat there and listened to their music and you sat there, and even with me, I know how it was genuine because it made me zone out. Because I could be in there having a good time with my friends and talking and have a good time, and they play on some music like that, I can stop and be like, oh my gosh, you just made me zone out. Like, I remember even when I was a kid listening to Michael Jackson and watching his shows on TV.
Yeah.
And people used to pass out at his shows because he touched their souls. Like, he literally, I've seen people, they had an ambulance stretcher sitting out there at his show because they knew people was going to pass out. People was going to actually feel his music. And that's when you know you have the touch. But I mean, like I said, and that's what a lot of entertainers these days are struggling with, because you got to have that touch, and that's how you get the extra money, to be honest. I know you can make some money off music. I understand that process, but a lot of people that are trying to make it where they want to be extra rich, you got to have that touch. And if you're not giving them goosebumps, what I was saying earlier, or that feel inside, you got to work a little harder, to my eyes.
Who's been giving you goosebumps lately?
Ooh.
It's a tough one. If I was asked the same thing, it'd be hard for me to come up with something.
I listen to some young people. You probably don't know him. You're probably gonna hate me for saying this, but I'm still listening to Jay Critch. He's signed under a Rich label. That he was been there for a while. I like his lyrics. He has a nice delivery, a nice flow. And like I said, he's not the East Coast rapper. Southside rappers, like I said, 808 Mafia earlier, but I know he doesn't rap anymore. He still makes beats. I still listen to Gucci Man, Bootsy, even DJ Paul by himself. He still makes music on his own by himself. But like I said, J. Kris right now, what I'm listening to, I know everybody's going to hate me. It is what it is. I don't care. But it's my choice. But right now, J. Kris, when he comes out with something, I'm listening because I know he's going to have the right beat for his right flow.
Yeah.
And his flow's always been right. I wish he'd blow up a little bit more. But, sometimes, everything doesn't turn into green every time.
Is it important for the flow to match the tone of the lyrics to you?
Yes and no. And I say that because auto-tune was out and popular for a little while.
Yeah.
And some rappers still use that. But it doesn't match the flow, or not the flow, but the beat sometimes with the auto-tune. So you got to kind of watch that. But yes, it is important because if your content is not matching the beat, and like I said earlier, it was closed. When I say that, that means you're shutting down on it. You're not really listening.
Yeah.
But now people are just judged to the point where, okay, you already got me on the beat. So now I'm getting tired of the beat, but I won't get tired of the beat if the lyrics is there. Then I will never get tired of your song because both of them are matching. Because if I get tired of hearing the beat, at least I can shut the beat off in my mind and then hear you still flowing. And the whole key with that is, if I turn you off, say if I'm listening to my favorite rapper and I'm riding in my car and I turn him off and I'm going about my day and rest of my life, but I'm still rapping his lyrics as I'm going through life, that's when you got a good rapper because you actually remember his lyrics. I remember growing up on Tupac and listening to Tupac. I remember his lyrics. And still to this day, this man's rapping since like the late 80s. I remember Public Enemy, not Public Enemy days, but Digital Underground days when he was even rapping there. And I still remember his lyrics. Even the man's been dead since 96.
Yeah.
But I could still rap his lyrics because I know they was real and they was genuine. And then you can live that life too because the things that you're talking about, you're actually living that too.
Man, it's a Dear Mama. Seriously.
And it's warming and touching. But I mean, the 7 Day Theory, that's one of my favorite Tupac albums. Don Cumulati, that was one of the great albums. And unfortunately, I know he had passed slowly after that.
Yeah.
But I mean, that album was a lot of, Tupac, you right. Tupac, you telling the truth. But I hate to see you go. I mean, but like I said, I even listened to Biggie during that time too. And I know they was feuding a lot during that time. Not to get too much into that old feud, but they was feuding during that time because they was one of the two best out because their music touched everybody's soul. I mean, even with Biggie, you can relate to some of that stuff. 99 Problems. You can relate to a lot of stuff. Life After Death. I mean, he was telling you these things already that he already knew what was going on.
Dude, Life After Death is an amazing album.
I know. And that was one of those albums that it's hard to beat that. I mean, Tupac was already there, but I can't name too many more albums after that. And then a lot of things about these rappers, they make albums don't sell like they used to.
That's true.
They really don't.
So when you're recording, like, so we've been talking about exactly how you're gonna kind of release yourself to the wild,
right?
Are you building something like on a single release strategy, or do you have an album that you're working on as well? Like, I mean, how have you thought about when it comes to releasing music? What's going to be your kind of, what are we going to be looking for?
Right. I mean, first you're going to be looking out for my name. Of course, I'm on YouTube. You want to look out the K2daE, number 2. Look on there on YouTube. Right now, I got a couple of tracks on there. I'm working on, this is my strategy and how I play is I make singles. And the reason I make singles is because of course, everybody's rapper dream looking for that one hit. You want to have that one hit. And I say my strategy is when you're becoming an underground rapper and even with your local, and if your local is not popping, you got one song to make. And if that one song doesn't hit, they're going to remember you by that one song. So if that one song is not good and it's not really blowing like you think it is, then they're going to remember that from now on. So when they try to turn on your second song, if it ain't better than that first one, that's your last chance. And that's how I've always believed in, because when you don't have like a distribution deal and you don't have a record deal and you ain't got that big guy behind you with his big chain on, he's got money, he's supporting you and putting money on you, it's a hard shot. So you have to actually have that hit singles. It's like a lot of people, they blow up with Drake. They feature Drake on there because they already know they're about to get paid. And it's not even them. They might not even listen to their lyrics. They're waiting for Drake to come on because they see Drake's feature. So they're waiting for Drake to come on. They're not worried about you. Okay, yeah, you got your shot. You about to blow up. You gonna get paid. They already know that. They're waiting for Drake. But that's the thing. When you got somebody popular featured on your song, it don't matter what you're talking about. Almost, I feel like it's just like because they know. Oh man, this Drake's already accomplished. He's already there. He's gonna blow you up anyway. Yeah. So it's not like what you're talking about, what you're dancing, what you're doing, but it's what you're doing afterwards. Yeah. Because I've seen a lot of rappers that have a song with Drake and they'll blow up with that song. Their name's way up here, but then they're making all these songs they're not really blowing like they was. And they're still waiting, oh, you just living off that Drake single. Or you just living off when you had featured Drake. They're still used to living off of that, but you didn't have the talent. That's my strategy is I want to make songs by myself. I don't need a feature. And if I want a feature, okay, that's fine. I'll take it. I don't need it though. That's the thing. There's a difference between wanting and need. I don't need a feature because I feel like I can do it myself. And that's the whole mind frame that a lot of rappers should have is I want to be better than Drake. I want to be better than most of these rappers. That's your mind frame. Because the labels, the records, they want to see that. They want to hear that. So show them that. You're going to be better. You're the next thing out. And that's how you become out is when you're the next thing coming out.
Yeah. I want to talk to you about your writing process.
Yes.
You've been writing now for years. And first of all, I guess, for you, what comes first? Does it is the lyric? Is it the beat? Do you work the beat off the flow? Do you work the flow off the beat? How do you go about writing a song and where does that typically come from for you?
First, I notice when I listen to a beat, I come with a hook. When I say a hook, that means pretty much what you're saying between your raps. If I can't get a hook, then I go to the next beat. Now, I say my hook, and here's my style is I come with a hook, then I stick with that hook. So if my hook is talking about getting money, that's what my verses are going to be pretty much pertaining to. Ways how I get money, how to get money, how to stay motivated. That's my mind frame of writing is I'm going to motivate you with my lyrics. I'm going to show you how to become the right mind frame to become that. What examples do you need? What trials, tribulations you're going to go through? I'm going to show you those and tell you those also. Because like I said, I call myself a real rapper. I'm not going to rap about something that I'm not doing. That's one thing a lot I know rappers they have tendency to do, and that's fine. You can shine for that. Everybody's mind frame is different. But me, K2daE, I'm going to show you what a real rapper does. I'm going to actually write a song and make a video and actually show you what's going on in that process. But me, I'm from the beat. The beat's catchy. I'll probably more than likely choose it. But like I said, I already know the generation that I'm trying to listen to, so I'm already in that flow. But like I said, if it don't catch me in the hook, I might not choose that beat more than likely.
Yeah. So as you've been writing and you've been recording, you've actually been recording at the Engine Room.
Yes.
First of all, what made you choose the Engine Room? Let's start about that first. What made you choose the Engine Room?
Okay. Well, before I get to that story, I've had producers. I've had other studios to go to. I've been in probably 3 or 4 studios. I've had other guys do songs for me and mixes for me. So as I've lost those people and those connections, I was kind of lost. I did quit rapping for a little while. I'd say about 5, 6, 7 years. I did quit for a little while. I kind of lost the taste in it, just like you play ball forever and you just lose the taste after a while. It's like, that's why ballers retire because they lose the taste in the sport. Well, that's where I was sitting at. So maybe about 3 years ago, I told myself, I said, you know what, let me go ahead and try this rap again, and see where I can go with it. So I happened to be walking in Broad Ripple late night, and I come across the studio, Engine Room recording. There was a sign up saying recording studio. So I'm like, okay. So I look into it. I grab a card from the door because there was a door in there, or a card with the door, and I just grab a card. And I happen to call the man, and the man answers the phone. He says, "Yeah, I record." I said, "Well, or do you record rap? I see that you're only into the, rock and other samples." And I was like, "Do you do rap?" He's like, "Yeah, I do rap." I said, "Okay, well that's good." So I came in here in the Engine Room. This is about 3 years ago, around this time, and there's another gentleman that owned the building, and unfortunately doesn't own any anymore. But now that I have the Engine Room of Anthony and another gentleman that makes awesome videos, Brandon, these two guys have taken my music to a different level. And they offer some of the best sampling, mixing, editing, video edits that I've ever seen or ever even worked with.
Really?
So, yeah, and I'm very impressed with the product that they put out here. They're patient with you. They work with you. They have a mind frame that they're going to try to work you to get you out here. And that's why I recommend the Engine Room to a lot of people that are local around here or anybody that's in this world. But if you're local, I recommend that. Come here because you're going to have a chance. But of course, it's your job to put the lyrics out and make the music. But when you need a good editor, you need a good producer, you need somebody that's going to produce in production, Engine Room recording. And like I said, now ever since I met Anthony, he's taken my music to another height. He's working with me on stuff that's like, oh man, like nobody's done before. So I can appreciate that.
Go into that a little bit because I think that there's something special about the artist-producer relationship that a lot of people probably may not understand, especially when it comes, maybe a lot of people who are listening to this show,
right.
who may not understand the difference between, working with a hip hop producer or a rock producer. But Anthony's, he's done both.
Oh,
How is that relationship, and how do you feel pushed into performing different ways?
well, first off, one thing I noticed is care.
Yeah.
And I say care because a lot of producers, they're already rich. They already got their money. They already got their fame. So a lot of them are just, I call it money grab, where basically like they don't care what you're talking about. I don't care what you're rapping about. Just make sure my money is there. And that's just an easy grab for them. When I met Anthony the first time, I didn't get that feel. A lot of my other producers were just worried about getting money to keep their studio open. I got bills to pay in this building, and I still got to keep the lights on. Just make sure you got the money. Anthony works with you to the point where he's going to flat out tell you, hey, I don't like it. Or he's going to tell you, I don't like that sound. It doesn't sound good. So he's going to, and he's to the point where he has a relationship with you where he's going to maybe even give you an idea. This sounds better this way. Why don't you try it this way? And a lot of times, I ain't gonna lie, he's helped me with that. And it's, wow, thank you. And an instant, because that's when you have that relationship with the producer, that's when you know they have care for you. When they actually stop the beat and say, nah, do that over. Do that, take that over. Because a lot of people, they'll just let you go ahead and say what you got to say. Go ahead. Oh, you already done? Okay, we'll go ahead and mix this up. No, he's not going to say, look, I like this, but we need to change this up. And I need to figure this out before we even get to the mix or even the editing or the chopping up.
Yeah.
That's the key. When you have somebody that actually cares about your music, they're going to stop you and tell you, hey, look, it's okay, but let's do something different here. And that's when he knows, because he's trying to put the right product out. And that's when you care for your studio. Because you got to remember also, when you're a producer, what you push down the streets is from your areas and it's from your box, or I say box of studio. Then you got to make sure you got a reputation to live too. So when they say, when they come to engine room, hey, engine room, they're going to put my music right. I need to go up in here, because they're going to actually take the time and the effort to even get you out here right.
How long have so you've been recording here for 3 years?
I've been recording for 3 years. I probably have maybe about, I have 2 videos with them. And also, like I said, 2 videos coming soon. I got one up posted, another one coming soon. I probably have maybe about, I'd say 8 or 9 tracks that's here, is ready. I'll probably push out maybe about 5 of them. I'm waiting. So I have a collab that's coming together. That's going to be on the album, the tape. And I'm just letting you know now, it's coming soon. But I have about 5 of them that I'm almost about ready to put out. But I'm trying to put out a tape about 9 tracks.
So tell me about, before we're about to get to the point where we're going to listen to your performance, watch your performance.
Okay.
But before we do that, what has led you to decide to choose those particular tracks that you're going to be releasing?
Basically where I came from, the long road, how I started. Like I said, most rappers, if you become a rapper, you can push out in as many tracks as you want, and you can work on as many tracks as you want. But are they ready? Are they lyrically content enough to get you out here? And that's why I had to learn the hard way when I was starting to rap. I was able to go home, write, and just push out. I got music for the studio. I got money for the studio, but is it the right track? Because like I said, it was back to what I was saying earlier, money grabbing, where I was just paying this guy. He would record, let me say whatever, didn't care, and then stop the beat. Are you done? Okay, yeah, let's go ahead and mix up. All right, have a good day. No, I had to learn that to stop and be like, is this song ready? So when I'm writing my lyrics, I stop and re-rehearse my lyrics. Like, is it matching my hook? If it's not, let me go ahead and erase that, start over. That's what I had to learn. So what I'm teaching is pretty much like the long road I came from, the struggle that I had to become a better rapper. Because, like I said, anybody can be a rapper. It's like anybody can be a basketball player. Anybody can if you put your mind to it. But it's about your rehearsal and how you're practicing. And that's how you become better. And that's what I tell you, practice becomes better. Yeah. And that's how you become better, is when you have practice and actual care.
Yes. Well, I love hearing all this. This is honestly this is thoroughly fascinating to me. Yes. And I love hearing about these kinds of insights and these relationships that help you become better as an artist.
Yes.
Because that's the important thing that we all strive to be as artists, is to constantly put out stuff that is worthy. Exactly. And working with someone who is in line with that.
Exactly.
And helps you reach that maximum potential.
Exactly.
But I want to get to your performance. But before we get to the performance, I want to talk about today's sponsor for this particular segment. And it is sponsored by Indianapolis Independent Entertainment. There we go. And IIE LLC aims to help local DIY artists, freelancers, and businesses within Indianapolis by establishing a network of creatives who can connect with each other to generate more paying opportunities. Their goal is to eliminate some of the intimidating barriers within the entertainment industry and expand the local art and music scenes in Indianapolis. Interested individuals can learn more about IIE by visiting their website, www.indyent.com. That's INDYINDIEENT.com, and fill out a free application to discuss how you and IIE can redefine making it together. And we are going to be right back, but first we're going to listen to some fantastic tracks from Kris Edwards, K2daE. We'll be right back.
Yeah, who's that it was he? K2daE. Yeah, who's that it was he? Who's that it was he? Yeah, who's that it was he? I'm K2daE. Yeah, who's that it was he? Who's that it was he? Yeah, who's that it was he? I'm first letter K and the rest of the E. I'm back on my Richard, that sounding like me. I'm back on my G, that Richard you see. Ain't wasting no time, can't waste the G. Who's that it was he? Who's that it was he? Who's that it was he? They be like, hey, yeah, where you been? We done heard your way back, but you back again. Done heard from niggas who recommend. They say your flow got sick and need medicine. Take it no right, yeah, like let's begin. Rap niggas ain't fucking when they lesbian. Me and very new rap ain't comparison. You think it's on my level, it's embarrassing. Yeah, I've been looking fresh. Got your girl looking like damn, I'm impressed. Been one of the best, you gotta confess. KD official like Mitchell and Ness. No labels be calling, they wanna invest. I told them like Nike, they send me the check. They know that I'm next, they just can't ingest. Either you with it, it's how I suggest. Yeah, back on my shit. K1 the hardest, you gotta admit. It's real when I spit, I can write up a hit. Watch it, bumping your face like it's it. Got them all listening, they saying you wit. Can't even lie, your shit is so lit. Been real and legit, get real as it get. Been a real rapper, so don't you forget. That is I'm back on, what? Yeah, I'm back on my shit, I'm back on my shit, whoa. Guess who is back, yeah, back on return. Fresh on the bed like he worked on it, learn. Y'all back as a firm, these rappers concerned. It's done my music gon' spread like a germs. I know it's my turn, so I'm taking my turn. Taking shit over as I see it occur. Still rolling kush cause I still wanna burn. Still from my pack, see I still gotta earn. It's about money, let's get it, I'm down and committed. Just roll me some kush, get stoned when you hit it. You every minute, we're still independent. My best and better, come here be a minute. My sign is spit it, Versace I'm in it. Switch a new fabric, I recommend it. Been a real rapper, so I never pretended. So spitting that fake shit is never intended. Yeah, what, you fucking with me? Can you hear me spit now, got better you see. Indiana, I beat from the IND. For those who ain't know, Green Red City. Throwing like me if you think it might be. But how? Cardi sound 223. As long as these labels is rapping, they free. Just tell me your numbers, I'm charging a fee. What you talking about, nigga? This ain't nothing new. Been a real rapper, some shit that I do. You see me, no crew, only trusting a few. You speak with my day ones, I'm not in them too. You feeling like ooze, that paper left you. I'm working with that kush, nigga, I plug you in too. But drop me a tape and that beat my debut. We about to let them see who's better than who. I'm back on, I'm back on. I'm back on, I'm back on shit. I'm back on, I'm back on. I'm back on, I'm back on shit. I'm back on, I'm back on. I'm back on, I'm back on. I'm back on, I'm back on shit. I'm back on, I'm back on. Let's go.
And this segment was brought to you by the Engine Room Recording Company. They are located in Broad Ripple Village, just north of downtown Indianapolis, and they specialize in making your projects go. Podcasters, bands, audiobookers, rappers, singers, songwriters, and everyone in between, the Engine Room Recording Company has the experience, the engineers, and the equipment, and the environment to fuel your projects. Check out Broad Ripple's recording studio by visiting for more information on their services, artists they've recorded, and gear they have at engineroomrecordingcompany.com. And be sure to visit their Instagram page by searching up at Engine Room Recording Co. And welcome back. I was not lying when I said those tracks go hard.
Super hard.
Super hard.
Yes.
All right. So, Kris, tell us, what were the names of these tracks?
I'm back on. Actually, like, Who Was That? Who Was He? Is the first one. Basically, that's one of my Who Was That? Who Was He? Is basically like saying, like, who is that? Like, who is he? What is he doing? That's basically like getting my name out, saying like, hey, look, this is him. This is who I am. That was my first track, and then the back on was basically like, I'm back on my game. Like, I thought you thought I lost it, but now I'm back on.
Okay.
So then now I'm back onto this game. You know, that's what I feel like I was going with at that one.
Sure. Now, I was noticed that you mentioned a couple times like a comeback.
Yeah.
And I was like, coming back? From what?
From the darkness. You can say.
Well, then, so that's the thing. It's like, so, not to spoil things for you,
Yeah.
but you got 2 YouTube channels.
Yeah.
So if people search you up, you'll find a couple of tracks from Kris.
Yep.
And then you'll find a couple of older tracks from Kris, which honestly they're good.
And they're good.
They're from 10 years ago, but they're
actually,
good.
10 years. That's a decade, but actually it's longer than that. We saying that right now. I looked at my old page. It's 13 years old.
What?
And that's what I've been rapping for a long time. I mean, I'm an older rapper, so I'm not gonna lie. I'm part of that older generation, but still can adapt to that new generation. But I feel like I never lost that touch anyway. But yeah, I'm a YouTube rapper currently right now. Send a like, please do. I got some likes, but give me some likes. Subscribe. Go ahead and get me out there because, like I said, I'm making it for you. I'm making it for you guys. This is entertainment, so I'm gonna entertain you guys, get you right, and get your party right.
And if you like the video that you see, which you undoubtedly will, because it's honestly really good, that was done here at the Engine Room. Parts of it were done here at the Engine Room.
Yes. Parts of it was done here. Parts of it was done downtown Indy. Great job, Brandon. He makes videos also. I inquire you to look him up too and get him. He's also on Voices of Indy. I've seen too.
Yeah, he was he was actually the very first guest when we started recording at the Engine Room. He and Tyler from Huxley.
Yep. And that's a good group. I recommend them too. I know I'm trying to support all my local artists and my local people, but please look that group up too. Huxley, hey, got some great music.
Great music. No, I love Huxley. And they will be performing at the Porter Books and Bread Porch Fest, sponsored by IIE.
Yes. Please go.
So check that out.
Yes.
Porter Porch Fest. That's the name of that. And that is April 19th. That's a solid day and evening of performances that include a whole host of artists, which currently escape me, but previous guest Twice Dark will be performing there. Josh Kruzman from Twice Dark, Vanta Black is part of the bill.
Yep.
Christine Bales is part of the set, I believe. Again, Huxley and so many others.
Yes.
Fred Miller III,
okay,
who is part of the last month's Coffee, Comedy, and Music.
Please go and support.
Yes, please support. Absolutely. Tickets are $25, I think, for a whole day of acts of amazing acts.
Yes.
But all that said,
yes,
let's get back to you.
Yes, let's do it.
And I want to talk to you about, again, kind of your release strategy. And that, again, you're kind of like this underground rapper right now.
Exactly.
You're going to be putting out what you defined as a mixtape.
Yes. Well,
or is it just a tape? This is me getting my lingo wrong. So
you're good. You could say both.
Okay.
And I say both because you don't have anything if you ain't got a tape. But it's a mix, so you got to mix. So it really is a mixtape.
Okay.
Basically, I come with a strategy. I have a businessman type of mind where it's all about getting attention. And like I said, when I come out with my singles, those are tapes. Basically, and I say it's a hype tape where they get you to listen and it gets you to show what I'm on. So once you get on, and that's how I am. This is good advice for any rapper. Come on. Once you get them on, you keep them on. But then when you come out with an album, then that's when you keep them on. You stay on because you come out with an album, you got a mixtape. You can jump off with a track with one verse, and you can get a nice hype one verse, move on to the next one verse. But when you come out with an album, you got to show your versatility. And when I say versatility, is like you got to come with an album that has 2 verses. A lot of these rappers these days, they're semi-talented, not gonna lie, but they don't come with one verse. And I understand that you're trying to get them hype, but let's show the versatility. And that's what my mind frame is. Show the versatility that you can make 2 verses on one song. And that's from where I came from. Because when people come out with songs, they had 2 verses on them. And there was 2 great verses, and they both matched. But now I know a lot of rappers are struggling just trying to make those 2 verses. But my strategy is when you come with an album, and my album's going to have a bunch of 2-verse songs. So a mixtape, you can have a jump hype track and just get somebody hype, get you a nice verse in there, a nice choppy beat, boom, move on to the next one. But it's only got 1 verse. And that's my mind frame on a mixtape is you got 1 verse, but mainly it's the beat. The beat's jumping. You jump in there, get it, kill it, move on to the next one.
Man, I just got to tell you that I am so hyped after watching that performance. That, I mean, we got the hype performance. That's what we got.
Yes.
And I am already looking forward to the 2-verse album.
Oh, it's coming.
And
it's coming.
I'm excited. I am thoroughly excited.
And I got, like I said, I'm talented. I'm very versatile because it doesn't with me. It doesn't have to just be rap songs. It could be R&B songs. So I can even relate to some of the other songs like country. You know, I don't mind that. You know, I'm versatile. So I want to be versatile, but I can show that also. You know, not to talk about it too much, but I want to be one of those people that can be featured on somebody that you will never think I'll have a song with. But then it'll just be like, wow, this man can do it all. Like he just don't have to be in one spot and only be just that one hip hop rapper. He can be a singer and he can put out an R&B song and be like relate to the women and relate to the struggles that's going on in life. But that's what I want to show in life.
Man, Kris, I love where you're coming from with all of this. Tell me really quick about I lost my train of thought, but that's okay. Yeah. So you're an underground rapper right now.
Yes.
First of all, what does that mean within the Indianapolis community?
Okay.
And two, what are your, and we can speak generally here, your general impressions of the Indianapolis hip hop scene?
Okay. Basically, first question, you know, underground, you know, you're not on a deal.
Yeah.
You don't have a production deal. You don't have a distribution deal. So basically, you're on your own. You're paying out of pocket. The things that, you know, the money that you have, you pay for the studio, you pay for your own videos. You're underground. So basically, like, you're under the ground. You're not on above the road where you're moving. You're just under the ground trying to get to the road to start moving. So basically, you're under trying to come up. But that's part of just everybody's anthem. You know, you start at the bottom and you trying to find your way up. That's why you're underground, because you're trying to find your way up to the top of the ground. It's you know, and that's what my mind frame is, you know. But Indianapolis, you know, being a rapper from here, it's tough. I'm not gonna lie. There's a lot of rappers out here, a lot of talent that I feel like, you know, a lot of guys don't get their chances and get their time to be a star that they want to be. And like I said, I'm here to support all local rappers. But I just think it's tough coming from Indiana. Like, we don't really have a top end music scene. I know when I was growing up, you know, we had a lot of rappers come here. We had a lot of shows come here, and we still do some, but not as much as I used to see. I remember Yo Gotti would come here all the time. Like, he would be here, shows, and it'd be everywhere. Yo Gotti's here. Yo Gotti's here. He's coming. He'll probably be here maybe, I don't know, 8, 9, 10 times out the year.
Seriously?
Yeah, a lot. I mean, a lot of shows. And he would promote all his shows. But, I mean, you know, it's kind of died down because, you know, you got to think, you know, we don't have being in a state that doesn't have a music scene. We do have a music scene, but not like Atlanta or New York or California or Florida, the down south states. We don't have those type of scenes. It's not like I can just wake up, write a song, go to Capitol Records downtown and say, hey, look, hear my music. I can't go to L.A. Reid and be like, hey, man, listen, man, I need you to pay me. You know what I'm saying? I got a song. You can't do that here. You know, you almost got to write a song here, make your shows, make your videos, and take it on the road. And I hate to say that, but that's what a lot of people do. I've seen a lot of rappers, they get a little accomplished here. They see the scene's not blowing up like it used to be. They take it to Atlanta. They take it to California, New York. They take it to bigger states, even like down in Tennessee. You know, they got times there. But, you know, being here, it's tough. I mean, you got only certain men in venues. You only got a certain amount of people that are really going to invest in your music, and it's hard, too. And then when they invest in music, what are you doing for me to get my money back? Yeah. What are you doing to double up my money? Because they want to see the investment in return. You can always get somebody to throw some money on your music, some thousands of dollars, but what are you doing to get it back? Because then you're going to owe them. And that's the only thing about that is, like, that's why it comes with a struggle. You know what I'm saying? And I see the struggle from a lot of rappers because it's hard. I mean, you're coming out of pocket on this stuff. Like, you know, and it's like me, I work a 9 to 5. I'm a regular guy. You know what I'm saying? But me coming up the rap scene, I got to come off that money from my 9 to 5. So that's how I'm making it. That's why I'm making these videos, because it's coming out of my pocket. Yeah. And it's tough.
No, it absolutely is. And I feel like you're speaking to the language of a lot of artists here in Indianapolis, not just within the hip hop scene, but across the board, all the scenes.
All the scenes.
All this, we're struggling in many of the same ways.
Yes.
And I mean, that's all that, and all that is to say, it's not that Indianapolis doesn't have the talent. We have the talent.
Got loads of talent. I mean, we'll never miss.
We are overflowing with talent in this city, honestly.
Yeah, that's just not even just the rappers, too. I mean, there's a lot of basketball players. I'm like, oh, my gosh, like, you guys are ready, but just never got the opportunity. And like this, everybody's looking for the opportunity. That's what it's about.
Yeah. No, the talent, I would say, in Indianapolis is off the charts, but it's being able to break out and really kind of make Indianapolis a location. And you're right. You say that we're a working state. And I mean, we have it slapped on the buildings in downtown Indianapolis, you know, a state that works.
State that works.
And it's like, yes, we do, but we're a state of creatives.
Right. And like I was saying earlier when we first met up, you know, it's tough because you got to think like, you know, we all work our 9 to 5s. We all work our times. Monday through Friday we work. We got weekends off, you know. Some people got kids. Some people got families to tend to. I understand. So say, for example, like me, I'm like, hey, look, I got a show on a Thursday. I'm like, on a Thursday? Well, yeah, it's Thursday night. Oh, man, but you know I work early Friday, so what time is it at? I'm like, oh, yeah, it's about 8 o'clock. Oh, it's too late, man. You know I got to get home to the kids, man. I got dinner to feed. Oh, man, you got another date? It's like, yeah, I got another date, but it's Thursday. Why don't you come support me? And that's a struggle we have because we're so used to working a Monday through a Friday here. And it's tough for people. So you got to push it to a Saturday, but then you push it to a Saturday. Well, how much is it going to cost to get in there? It's like, man, you can't give me no free tickets? Yeah, I can't get you no free tickets, man, unfortunately, man. But why don't you come support me? And a lot of people are just, you know, I noticed that trend there, like, you know, we work so much. We got to fit our life in that weekend. So that Saturday and Sunday you taking up, I got to get this, that, done. The kids got soccer games, basketball games. And I understand that. And it's a little tough here, you know, compared to other states where you got times to be out. You got a beach, you got a mountains, you got the things to do. So people are willing to go do those things. We don't have those opportunities here. It's like we're stuck in that work zone here. So like I said, I understand about state to work. We get money here.
Yeah.
You know, this state's full of money. I'm not going to lie. We get money here. But it's just tough to be on something extra sometimes.
No, it is. It absolutely is. And I think a lot of people who are listening to this right now can relate exactly to what you were saying.
I would think so.
Well, as we wrap this up, I want to. You mentioned something prior to us going live, so to speak, on you know as we record this that that you are building kind of like not a war chest, but a treasure trove, so to speak, of material to drop, so that when that mixtape drops, you have content everywhere, and that's the whole goal. I mean, you gotta think when you become an artist and you're trying to become something more popular out here, you gotta have a plan, you gotta have a goal, and then you gotta have ways to get to that goal. You know, a lot of people would just jump on the scene just because they can jump on the scene, but they don't have goals, they don't have plans. So sometimes you gotta write that stuff out. Just like my music, I write my stuff out before, and I have a plan before I even come to the studio. But me, on the other hand, my plan is, you know, I'm gonna have. So when you look me up. And we got time to blow up a little bit more from here. And you look me up. I got content ready. You know, I got music that you're ready to listen to. It's not I gotta wait. Oh man, where's such and such at? I'm here. You know, you're gonna find my videos. You're gonna find my music easy, and you're gonna relate to it. You know, because I make sure that you relate to it. But my plan, the goal is, it's like you look me up and you find me. Oh, he's got 2 or 3 videos, or he's already got some tracks out. Like he's already ready for this. Like, and then you're gonna relate to it. So I mean, you're gonna see the goals and the plans that I'm telling you about through the songs. That you're gonna actually see it too. And that's the difference between a lot of rappers is I'm gonna tell you something, but I'm gonna show it also in the process. Yeah. Well, Kris, I ask every guest this, so I'm going to ask you: is there anything that we've missed that you feel like you still want to get off your chest? Let the people know about you, what to expect from K2daE.
What you miss is me. You know that's what they all missing. They all missing the rapper that they need, and that's me, K2daE. You know, but I definitely, you know, you miss the real content that we used to have. A lot of these rappers just jump off rappers, and like I said, it's just not enough hype tracks to get them on. But me, the content I miss back in the days when I was around, the Jeezy days, the Gucci days, and the real not saying the trapper, but you know, the real rapper. You know, the stuff that we miss. That's what I'm on, basically. Like, you know, and that's why I encourage you. You know, I'm a YouTube rapper right now. I'll have my Instagram and all that, Spotify and SoundCloud. That's coming. But right now, YouTube, blow me up, look me up, because I'm going to be on there. And like I said, it's K, big K, number 2. The E and big E at the end. Find me out, because you're going to see like, hey, this man's on a mission. Like, you know, and he's going to have the right goal and the right ingredients to succeed. So you can follow my plan and you'll see how it happens.
I love hearing it. I'm hyped.
Please be.
I'm hyped. And you can get hyped too.
Yes.
By checking out K2daE, Kris Edwards.
Yes.
On YouTube.
Yes.
That is a place to check it out, and seriously do it. And if you're not hyped after watching that video, you might be dead.
Hey, we want you alive though.
We want you alive to enjoy this.
Yeah, alive and kicking.
Absolutely. Kris, thank you so much for being on the show this week.
Much.
Yes.
Appreciate it.
Join us next week when my guest will be November Swim Club. I'm very excited to have those guys on the show. It's going to be a lot of fun. But for now, check out Kris. Check out his amazing stuff that you can on YouTube.
Subscribe,
and subscribe to his YouTube channel.
Yes.
Subscribe to Voices of Indy's
Voice
YouTube
of
channel.
Indy.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'll do one quick thing before we can come off. Voices of Indy. You know, like I said, this is my first real podcast. I'm just going to be honest. And this is amazing. So, I mean, like I said, I recommend, Voices of Indy. Try it out. Come out. Put yourself on here because, like I said, it's going to be worth your time. This man is amazing right here. And the podcast, like, hey, this for my first experience, A+. So I can tell you, A+ for my first experience. But
thank you, Kris.
Voices of Indy. Please subscribe to that also.
I appreciate that. And I can't say any better than myself, so we're gonna cut it out on that, guys. Thank you for tuning in this week. This has been K2daE, Kris Edwards. We'll be back next week. Thanks for tuning in.